A wise guy once told me, the woman you marry and the woman you divorce are two different people. Now all those promises that she made will go out the window, and she will say things like, oh, I never wanted kids to go to a specific school like we promised. We also hear this one where when they get married to the guy, they'll say, I will never come after your money or your businesses, blah, blah, blah. I'm not in it for materialistic things. I will never, ever come after your businesses. I'm not that girl. Guess what? She will come for that and more with a tax on top of it. If you feel like you and your partner are about to break up or would end up in divorce/separation, you need to understand the consequences living in the West and have an attorney ready. A wise guy once told me, the woman you marry and the woman you divorce are two different people. Yes, that's correct. I'll repeat. The woman you marry and the woman you divorce are two different people. It's time for you to listen very carefully. But before we move on, if you get value from this channel, please hit subscribe and the like button. What do I mean by the woman changes? She will now do everything to hurt you and screw up your life. That's right. All those years of marriage, laughter, intimacy are all gone out the window. All those lovey-dovey messages and those promises that who she swore on by God and her life are out the window. And now instead of being rational and logical, she will do chaos and will go against her very fundamental beliefs. She has no backbone anymore. In my men's group, I get to hear many different stories and dynamics. And not one story is associated to one person or event. In fact, it is a combination of stories that are very common and prevalent in today's society. For what it's worth, you should go talk to a family lawyer if you want to understand more, and they will tell you the dynamics of these stories. Among the many stories, here are some of the common ones. She will first side with all of her feminist and her fake friends who now will appear out of the woodworks out of nowhere. Anyone that she previously was not even on the same vision or friendship with will now come out of nowhere and will side with her. This can be her single mother even, who cut her dad out of her life. Can be her sister or sister-in-law, all single feminist friends who never really held a real relationship, or a crazy family lawyer who's just milking her dry for money and wasting the money on stupid email exchanges. So what will happen to you now? Or what could happen? Also, I just want to let you know, I hope none of this happens, but as men living in the West, they will have to face this reality at some point as the system is built this way. First, they will throw charges at you. This could be a combination of a lot of different charges and alleged charges that they will try to do against you. I'm not going to go deep into the charges in this video. We'll do that for another video. I've seen men face some charges or a combination of them all. They do this systematically so that they can have leverage in family court and take your children away from you and make it really hard for you to see your kids. That's right. This is what they're going to do. Despite what they said they were going to do, this is what they're going to do now. And you have to be ready for it. They will also say things to get in your skin. For example, let's say you discussed things before marriage and decided that if things were not going to go a certain way, that you will break up peacefully and amicably. Now all those promises that she made will go out the window, and she will say things like, oh, I never wanted kids to go to a specific school like we promised, or I don't want them in private school like you wanted. I want them in public. She will just play this contrarian with you. We hear stories when brothers are married to the convert Muslim girls who converted, even 2 years into the marriage. When they were first married, they weren't even Muslim, but they converted 2 years into the marriage. And when they break up with the man, they'll say, oh, I never really was Muslim, and that you manipulated me into being Muslim when I never really was. Or if she was in any other religion, she would say stuff like that to get in your skin. They don't understand that religion is a personal thing. You don't convert for anybody. And as Muslim men, we all know that. But they'll say stuff like that to you, so be ready. We also hear this one where when they get married to the guy, they'll say, I will never come after your money or your businesses, blah, blah, blah. I'm not in it for materialistic things. I will never, ever come after your businesses. I'm not that girl. Guess what? She will come for that and more with a tax on top of it. The crazy part of it all is that there's no accountability in this mess for these women. There's no accountability. None of her friends will keep her in check or tell her like, hey, what you're doing is wrong or you shouldn't do it this way. They will actually all get together and encourage her because they secretly are getting out on this man what they really want to do to their man, or their ex-husband that would say what they wanted to do to him. We had one story recently where the girl even called the cops after the husband had a court order to visit his child and was successfully doing so according to court order via third party. Now, allegedly on some of these visits, she would come to the place prior to her time and she wouldn't even take precaution, whether it's calling the third party or letting the third party know that I'm here or I'll wait in a parking lot. She would do it in an uncompromising way where the husband would be near her and allegedly would breach the court order or the undertaking. She would do this continuously for weeks on, weeks off, for a couple weeks, and then one day decide to go to the cops and rat and say, oh, he was near me, blah, 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 and get charges on the husband. Now, we hear these types of stories all the time, but imagine how sick you have to be in the head that you go drop off your child, intentionally create this setup, and then go to the police station while your child is with your ex and the father-in-law, third party. Imagine what you have to be as a person to try to screw up a man like that. Anyways, guys, I'll be bringing a lot more content on other videos where we discuss the different charges and tactics used by women. To conclude, I would like to say to men, if you feel like you and your partner are about about to break up or would end up in divorce/separation, you need to understand the consequences living in the West and have an attorney ready. Remember, I will always speak on these issues and I will have a lot more content coming. Follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our channel. If you're in the Greater Toronto area, hit me up, DM me, and I run boxing classes for men going through divorce, separation. So if you know a man or you are a man that needs to come out and use boxing as an outlet, I would love to host you at my boxing gym. That's it for this video. Have a great day.